Hello, how are you?
Oh, nice to meet you. Austin legend.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too, Jamie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just admiring your compound right now. I mean, look that beautiful, Kiss poster, Austin City Limits. I see a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I this Austin City Limits poster, this is 2007 or 2008. Foo Fighters, Robert Plant, Austin Krauss, Beck.
Yeah.
All the way down here. If you look, and then Nakia.
That's where you are. Yeah, you're there. I love it. I love it. But yeah, Nakia, so great to meet you. I've been listening to a lot of your music past couple of weeks. I mean, Signal on repeat lately. And I was thinking it reminds me so much of like New Order and Prince, stuff like that.
On.
It got me thinking, if you could have produced like, say, like Prince, nothing you could have said to him in terms of improvement, right?
Right.
Like he was just like perfect the way he was. Basically.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was thinking, is there some element of being an artist, Nakia, where you will go, I won't work with someone because they're so fucking good. Like, I don't want to be the one who fucks things up.
I don't know. I think that any opportunity that I get to be in a room, even if it's just to be in a room with someone that I look up to and admire, I've always taken it because I've always felt like, you never know when they're going to impart some kind of wisdom that you might be able to take and use in your own life. There may be opportunities to come up, but I don't think that I would turn down working with Prince.
Right. But for example, you've shared the stage with Willie Nelson, with B.B.King.
Yeah.
When you're with when you're in the same room in stages as icons like this, do you pick their brains, Nakia, or is it more like quiet observance and kind of reverence?
It depends. So, for instance, the time that I played the show with Willie Nelson, we didn't cross paths until like 3 years later. But when we did, I was able to talk to him then and, have a brief conversation. With B.B.King, it was shortly before he died. And I got to speak to him after the show. He was actually in a wheelchair at the time. So they would roll him to the edge of the stage and then his son would walk into his seat. And so right after the show, before he got on the bus and left, I had a chance to talk to him and ask him if he had a chance to catch my show, which is an incredibly stupid thing to ask probably. But not only did he see most of the show, but when he got up to perform after me, I closed my set with Driving Wheel, which was a song that he had performed many times. He opened his set with Driving Wheel and then he thanked me.
Wow.
Oh, so it was pretty funny. But I think that the other thing that I've always tried to remember in all of this is that at the end of the day, these people are just like you and me. The only difference is that they have this huge level of notoriety and fame. And I try to just treat people like normal people, and hope that, if there's some kind of connection, it sticks. But, most of the time it's just in passing when you're playing these shows or something. But there are a few people that I've been fortunate enough to get close to and spend time with on a longer basis that I definitely, took away some really good advice or life lessons at the time.
Yeah, totally. Again, you are, when I hear about stories like B.B.King, basically, months before his passing, he was still playing. And so many of our old stalwarts, Willie Nelson, knock on wood, he's with us for many, many more years. But like, you are also a music savant. Like, do you think that you're just gonna like just live and breathe music and be composing and just doing what you do until you're in this life here on Earth?
I don't know that that's the case. I've been doing music for a long time, and I do think that there is a part of me some days that longs to just be able to sleep in and not wake up and immediately start running my music business, immediately start thinking of songs or immediately start rehearsing. But most of the time when I have thoughts like that, something happens like the very next week where it just reminds me why it all matters for me to be out here doing what I do. Even if it's just for my own happiness, that's one thing. But I think it's also very important because, you know, in the city that I live in the circles that I travel in and perform in, you know, being a queer artist and somebody who has been openly, you know, queer from basically the get-go of my career and the majority of my life, I think it's also important, you know, that people get to see me out there doing my thing and hopefully see that and hear something that I might perform or say that inspires them to also be, you know, really free and open in who they are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that Oscar Wilde quote that Aaron Lee Tasjan has in his song Horror of It All. It's like, you know, you got to be yourself because everybody else is taken, you know? And so I just want to be me for as long as I can be me. You know, hopefully I'm still doing music when I'm Willie's age. I mean, that's a long time. Hey Siri, how old is Willie Nelson?
Willie Nelson is 91 years old.
91. You know, that's a long time. And he's, you know, talk about somebody who lives and breathes music. You know, I mean, there's pretty much all besides smoking pot, hanging out with his family. That's pretty much all he does.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for me to kind of keep that in my brain, but I definitely don't think about it like that. I just kind of do my thing.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you said a lot of great stuff there. Lots of stuff back, Nakia. We share mutual friend Aaron Lee Tasjan, and obviously, you know, the queer thing. I have a lot, obviously, of queer friends, queer musician friends. And, you know, I wanted to ask you this, like, where do we stand? Because you have seen the contrast of where we were when you started and where we are now. And it seems to me, kind of like as someone who's in those circles, that in some ways, there's been so much progress, Nakia, right? In some ways. But in others, when push comes to shove, when it comes to stuff like laws and like the real, like, okay, like cashing in a check, sometimes I get surprised that it's like nothing's changed in the past 20 years. So I don't know, like, what do you think?
Oh, I think that we have made a lot of progress. I agree. But I also think that we're living in a time where systematically around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world, there is this tightening of, like you said, of laws, of regulations that are happening all over the world. And it is a very targeted campaign to, you know, push down those of us who are struggling just to be ourselves, just to exist. There's a lot of fear that has been stoked and has been revived out of, you know, the past that they're bringing back and recycling into this new narrative that, you know, all gay people are pedophiles, all queer people are, you know, evil, you know, all these things that are 100% not true, that they use, especially the things with the drag queens and the trans people. They're really using those folks and those groups as a way to leverage the things that they need to do to gain power and make people think that they're doing something good for them, but really they don't really care anything about them. All they care about is how it helps them, how it enriches them, how it helps grow their power. And when all is said and done, they're not going to care whether or not you supported them or not. If you don't meet the need that they have, then they're going to just do away with you as well. So I think it's really, really important now more than ever that if you feel safe, if you feel comfortable being able to be openly who you are as a queer person, gay person, trans person, now is the time to live that authentic life, because people need to see and hear us and know that we're just like everybody else. We just want to exist. We just want to love and be loved. And we want to tell our stories. And, you know, that's what I've been trying to do for so long here in Austin. I started out really in this blues soul world. And And for the longest time, I was one of the only openly queer people in the Austin music scene who was doing that music. And I definitely met with some folks who would not book me because I was openly queer. And that was really difficult. But, I also have to remember that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. If they don't like my music or they don't like me as a person, sure, that's fine. But if they're trying to keep me out because of who I choose to love or who I choose to be as a human, then, like if that were to happen to me now, like in the past, I would have just written them off and not said anything, not made a fuss about it. But if that were to happen to me now, I would be very vocal about that on social media. I would let people know, like, these people are bigots. These people, are being hateful, whatever. It's just, we don't have any room or any time not to be ourselves and fight back.
Yeah. Amen to that. Man, very well said. Very well said, Nakia. Tell me a little bit about Austin, because it intrigues me. You've been there since 2002, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. And yeah, you could have moved many years ago to LA, to Miami, to Nashville, but yet you've like doubled down, tripled down with all the changes. And I mean, you are Austin. Like, you are in the Mount Rushmore of like what makes Austin Austin. But we didn't think me
about that.
I think so. But I mean, Matthew McConaughey, everyone just calls you, like you're like among there. But why did you never like leave?
Well, it's a good question, Jamie. When I was on The Voice in 2011, everyone. I don't know what happened. It went black on me. I'm so sorry.
That's what happens when our magical conversation. But yes. But
go back over that question then. So,
yeah, you were saying that when you were on The Voice, which you almost won, by the way.
So in 2011, when I was on The Voice, once I was done with the show, there were a lot of people in the music industry and the entertainment industry that I knew in LA who were very adamant that I would get way more work, way more opportunities if I moved there. And that's probably true. I definitely know people who were on the show who stayed in LA after we were done, and they did get a few more opportunities. And to be fair, I spent the majority of 2011 and 2012 and about half of 2013 living in LA with other like friends, staying with friends, working on my record and stuff and making connections. But I never really felt like I wanted to move there. And I never really wanted to move to Nashville. I've always wanted to live in New York City, maybe. But, I came here in 2002 because I met my husband and I fell in love with him and I fell in love with the city and the music and the people. And I just feel like, I don't know that I would want to go anywhere else. That being said, as our governor and the legislature here continue to be more and more backwards and hateful, it certainly gives me pause to take a minute and think, well, maybe we should move to California, or maybe we should move to like the Pacific Northwest or something, where it's a little bit more accepting and open. But then I'm not here representing me. I'm not here representing my community, and I think, to your point, people know me, and they know here in Austin, they know me, and they know that I'm openly queer. They know I've been with my husband for 22 years. They know that I sing about, those types of struggles and those types of relationships. And so I think it's also important for me to do my best anyway to stay here as long as I can, so that I can be a representative of the community and be open and vocal. And it does suck sometimes. It's really hot here, and in fact, I just started writing a song recently, and the opening line is, between the hate and between the heat and the hatred, Texas is trying to kill me.
That's great.
So, and sadly, it's true. It's, like tomorrow I'm going to be performing at Güero's Tacos for the Sun Radio, Texas Radio Live performance. And it's outdoors, and it's going to be, close to 100 degrees. It'll probably be over 100 on the heat index. And me and the band are going to be sweating our asses off.
Right.
But, that's where we are. That's what we got to do.
Absolutely, Nakia. You're being so good with your time, but I have to ask you about the 22 years married with your husband. I mean,
Yeah.
that is incredible. As someone who's divorced 7 years, 22 years doing anything. Forget marriage, Nakia. 22 years doing like yoga, whatever.
Right.
It's amazing. And the fact that you've been able to be with the same partner for all this time, through pandemics, through illnesses, through ups, through downs, man.
Yeah.
That is almost as impressive as your, prolific music career, Nakia. Tell me a little bit about that. The 22 years with your partner, what's been the secret sauce there?
The majority of the secret sauce that I tell people is that I think that Robert and I have a very honest communication. We tell each other everything. We share, each other's emotions and feelings on a regular basis. And, I think it doesn't hurt that we've also been in an open relationship since day one, but, we really do have something special where I know I can tell him anything. He knows he can tell me anything. And we actively choose to talk with each other about our feelings, not just, how was your work day? How's the, whatever, but our real feelings. And I think that so often in relationships, we get into these patterns where we don't talk about how we're actually feeling. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm fine or I'm good. I mean, like, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm glad, I'm happy, whatever it is, talking about those feelings. And sometimes more importantly, why I might be feeling, upset with him, or why he might be feeling, scared for me, or, those types of discussions, I think really have made it possible for us to stay together for as long as we have.
Well, Nakia, you've been so good with your time. Let me leave you with this. You recently expanded your creative horizons, if you will, and you're doing a lot of composing for film and TV. And I find that extremely cool. But it also sounds to me like that would be something extremely difficult. I don't know why.
It is.
Like, how does that even work? Do they send you like a scene and then like they just trust you with it? Like, how does that process work?
It started that way, and I've been very fortunate that the production company that I've worked on all these things with, they kind of let me teach myself how to do this. I told them like I wanted to try it, and they were like, "Okay, we'll give you a shot." And I taught myself through the process. But yeah, that's how it works. They send me scenes or the final, full episode or whatever it is. And then there's notes that say like, here we need this, here we need that. But in my relationship with Joshua R. Pangborn, who is the head of the production company out of New York that I work with a lot, it's been, mostly do with it what you want. And that was very freeing for me. I have to say, it's funny you bring that up. It's one of the things that I actually have to kind of put on the back burner now that I have this new album that I'm starting to release singles for, and performing out live again, because, that started during the pandemic when I really didn't have a whole lot going on
Right.
that I had extra time for. And I haven't really been performing regularly for many, many years because I've been choosing to do some other things here and there. And, now that the band is starting to play out again and I've been doing some solo shows, I just don't have as much time. And I recently took a part-time job as a radio DJ here in Austin on Sun Radio. And that takes even, more of my time away from things like doing the composing and
Sure.
It's definitely a lot of work, and I've really enjoyed it, but I really am excited about the new music.
Absolutely.
The album is something that I started this album in 2019, and, all of the songs started right here in this room on my computer. And I took those songs and had my friend Matt Parmenter, help me kind of bring them up to par. And then in one other case, my friends Mike and Eric also did one of the songs with me. And I've just been so excited, for people to hear it. The music videos, I'm going to start doing music videos for most of these songs. The one for Signal comes out tomorrow, actually. So
it'll be out by the time this airs.
Okay, so by the time this comes out, then my music video Signal will be out. And we shot that on location at the place that I'm doing my Tuesday night residency. It's called Sagebrush here in Austin, and it's very, very, very queer. There are moments where I am only I'm in a pair of jeans, like a little short jacket with fringe and beads, lots of makeup, a cowboy hat, and I'm riding an electric bull. So
fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. I can't wait for people to see it and hear the album.
Fantastic, Nakia. We can't wait. And you also have a residency, I think, in the works in Austin. So amazing, Nakia.
Calling your name, I still smell you on my clothes. It's just not the same. I wish I could go back and hold you again. You used to wake me up with a kiss and a smile. We go for a walk together, a little over a mile. And now I can't leave the house with you by my side. No. I play you a song on piano, and you'd always sing back. And I can still hear your harmony in every line. No.
Thanks for listening. Enjoy the new album.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here for the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from J-Rod Concert Media.